If you're planning on starting watercolors, then you might want to see this video, because in this video I'll be giving you two most basic and important tips when it comes to doing watercolors. I'll be using these Winsor & Newton watercolors for this video. They're so long lasting. I've been using mine for the past 5 years now. The quality of the paint is absolutely amazing. They're very nicely pigmented and bright. Now the first thing we're going to talk about is the paper you're going to use for your watercolors. The paper I use is an all-purpose paper for all kind of wet mediums, including ink, gouache, acrylics, watercolors, etc., etc. But the main thing you want to keep in your mind is that the grams or the GCM of the paper is more than 300. That will ensure that your paper won't be buckling or tearing up when you apply watercolors on them. These are some of the watercolor studies I did a while back ago, and I'll put the videos up in the I button so you can watch how I painted them. The second type of paper that you don't want to be using is this regular printing paper, which is not suitable for watercolors at all, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, when you're applying watercolors to a surface that is not suitable for watercolors, the color will not blend out uniformly because there's just too much water for the sheet to absorb at the moment. This will cause the buckling of the paper, and it will get the paper all wavy and you won't be able to paint nicely on it. Most importantly, it will seep through your paper, which is a big no-no when it comes to watercolors. It's not a good sight to look at and potentially can tear down your page as well. Now over here you can see me applying paint on my watercolor sheet, and as you can see, the paint is applying quite evenly. And there's no buckling of the paper, no wavy texture is being formed. And if you flip the watercolor sheet, you can see that there's no seeping of the paint through the paper, which is a big yes. The second thing we're going to talk about is the type of brushes. The first type are the ones which are round and pointed. And the second type are these square brushes. Square brushes are not suitable for watercolors. They're much more suitable for thicker wet mediums such as acrylics, gouache, and oil paints. They do not hold a lot of water in them, which is why they're not suitable for watercolors at all. As you can tell that the pigmentation is only in the beginning of the stroke, because that is actually how much water the brush could actually store, and the paint fades away as we progress with the stroke. Now I'm going to be using the pointed round tip brushes to apply my paint. These brushes hold a lot more water than the flat square brushes and are much more suitable for watercolors as compared to the flat brushes. Now over here I did not go back to get more paint. I only used the paint which was already on the stroke, just to show you how much water the brush was actually containing itself to apply the paint much more evenly. These were the two tips that I wanted to give out to people who were starting out with watercolors, and I hope that they would get some benefit from them. And yeah, if you liked this video, don't forget to give this a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Until then, take care.